Shalom. All praise and glory to the mighty Most High, our Creator, who is one God. There is none like Him. Blessings to you, the children of the Most High, servants of the Most High. Know your purpose, know who you are. We're picking up in Genesis 32. Before we begin, I would like to pray on this chapter, because there's a lot going on, especially when we get to the second part where Jacob wrestles with God, or Jacob wrestles with the angel, or Jacob wrestles with man. Okay, so when we get there, there's a lot of information to take in, spiritual regeneration, about spiritual generation, and understanding what these parables mean, these metaphors. What are they really truly saying? All right, so let's jump in with Genesis chapter 32. Give you a little backdrop on what's going on here with the story. Okay, Laban had just traveled 7 days across the lands to catch up with Jacob, because Jacob had packed up all of his stuff. He carted it all together, his wives and his grandchildren, and he left Laban's presence. Okay, he was supposed to have stayed there and tended to the sheep for Laban, for they made a deal with one another. Also, Rachel had, when they had left, they went and they stole Laban's, well, not they, I'm pretty sure that Isaac didn't know that Rachel or Jacob, didn't know that Rachel had stolen her father Laban's household gods. So that's why I always want to give you a little backdrop about what's going on, because Laban had worked, Isaac or Jacob had worked for Laban for 7 years so that he could marry his youngest daughter. And then after 7 years, the Bible says that he dressed his daughter up and sent his oldest daughter Leah to Jacob's presence, and that Jacob made love to her and didn't know until the next day, after working for 7 years. Okay, so we know that doesn't make any sense at all. If you've worked 7 years in your life because you're planning on marrying a woman, you have eyes for this woman for 7 years, you think that somebody's going to be able to send somebody else in your presence? No, it doesn't work. So Jacob packed up all of his stuff after working for his uncle 20 years, 7 years for the first daughter, 7 years for the second daughter, then 6 years tending the sheep. That's 20 years that Jacob gave to Laban. That's a long time to be under somebody's service and them prospering from it. So now Laban has left Jacob's presence. They have come to this understanding between the two of them that they won't pass this rock, this heap that they set up between one another. They anointed this heap, and neither one will cross the heap from either side to cause the other one harm. So Laban went on his way, and now Jacob also went on his way, and the angel of God met with him. Okay, anytime we're talking about an angel here, what are we talking about? We're talking about a priest. Okay, or a deacon, a cardinal. Okay, we're talking about a man. Okay, remember, we're fallen angels. So anytime that they're talking about an angel, they're talking generally about a Gentile man. Okay, God, the self-existing eternal creator, this is not. Okay, in the Strong's Concordance, okay, God is 430, okay, which means plural, okay, it's Eloah. Oh, actually it's Elohim. Excuse me. Elohim is a plural of Eloah. Okay? This spelling here is also Eloah. Okay? So anytime you're talking about gods, okay, an angel of God, this priest, this deacon or cardinal is being sent from someone of higher up that the Spirit, the Creator, uses. You understand? The Spirit of God created Gentile. He created us, okay? And we are the beasts of the field, each according to their kind. We are the tree of knowledge of good and evil. We are the ones that are underneath of the branches of the darkness. Okay, when we fall into this realm, we become spiritually fallen from the Spirit of God. The only way that you can reconnect with the Spirit of God is by asking Him, repenting. For first of all, because you've been sent to this prison. This plane of existence is a prison. The firmament is a prison. It's a vault. Okay? We're inside of a terrarium. Yes, life is here. Life is beautiful, but it's still a prison. The flesh here is a prison. Okay? The mind is a prison when you're walking contrary to God and you got skills on your eyes. This plane of existence is a prison. Jail is a prison. There's a lot of variations, okay? Like being poor. Poor is a state of mind, okay? Just because you don't have any money doesn't mean that you're spiritually without understanding. I'd rather be spiritually connected than anything else, to have any material wealth of this world, because material wealth blinds you from the prize, and the prize is the Creator of God, the Creator, the self-existing eternal Creator. Okay, this here is a divinity of the Supreme Creator. This God here is something that is used of the Supreme Creator. Okay? The Creator is a spirit. The Creator is a spirit. Always remember that. It's the Spirit of truth. It's the living God. All right? The Spirit of truth. There's none like the Spirit of truth, okay? There's none like Him. So the Spirit of truth, the living God, uses these gods here, believe it or not. And these gods here, the Gentile gods, those that consider them gods, yeah, they are the spirit of the dead. Okay, you got to remember, folks, there's two gates. One gate is the door to life. The other gate is the door to death. One gate is living. The other is dead. Okay? There's there's two sides. One is good. The other is evil. That's all there is. There's nothing in between. This is what the Creator says, is there's absolutely nothing in between. So now we know that when we're talking about God here, an angel of God, it is an angel of a man, because God is also man. Elohim also means mankind. Okay? Mankind are many gods because they consider themselves gods. I'm on time on this, folks. You understand? I'm not wrong about this. Mankind considers themselves gods. Mankind, when you add the sum of mankind up, comes to 66. And then mankind was created on the sixth day. That is 666. You understand? So this is why the Lord, the supreme, self-existing, eternal creator, says you are not to place any gods beside him. Okay? So, an angel of God met with him. Now you understand when it says an angel of God, a priest, met with Jacob. When Jacob saw them, he said, okay, now we know that this isn't this priest, deacon, and cardinal. We know that this isn't a spirit. See, we've been hypnotized by our slave masters that they've indoctrinated us with Hollywood, movies, rock songs. Everything has wings. They always have these wings, right? So we're indoctrinated when we think for ourselves. We think of a seraphim or a cherubim, something that is spiritual. Well, these angels of God are spiritual once you understand that that's what this plane of existence is. Okay? This is why it says in Ephesians 6:12, it's not about the flesh and blood. It's about the rulers. It's about the principalities. It's about the evil that fights in heavenly realms. The heavenly realms that evil fights in is right here, folks. It's right here. What do I mean? I mean, like this morning, I was cooking breakfast and stuff for my dad, and just for a second, I just started thinking of women. And you got to pop that thought, is what it is. You're always under attack because the fight is up here. Once you leave the world out there, you still have the fight that's going on inside of your head. He said this is the camp of God, so he named the place Mahanaim. Mahanaim. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir. Also, we all know that this is a landmark inside of Israel, but look at the word Seir, okay? There's a lot of different ways. Number one, when you spell sincere, you have C-E-R-E, okay? Also, you have C-E-R-R or C-E-E-R, a seer, somebody who sees, a medium, somebody who envisions through visions. They see. They're seers of the future. And then you have a seer that burns. It scorches. All right. So you have all these different meanings, and this is how we've been captured, okay, in the language. The language that the English speak is a split-tongue language. It's seriously twisted. We're taught that the word sincere means the pretense without deception, pretense without dissent or deceit. This is what sincere means. It means to be upright and honest and earnest in your actions, in everything that you do. There's no pretense of evil in it, okay? So, when you hear the word sincere, you have the very word sin and seer in the word. Sin means naturally is a sin, and it's spelt S-I-N, and seer means you burn. So when you sin, you will burn. That's why it means sincere. Sin, burn. Sin, burn. You will burn in hell when you sin. If you don't repent to the Creator, you are going to burn in hell. In Seir, the country of Edom, he instructed them, this is what you are to say to my lord Esau. Okay, now earlier, look, this is a lowercase lord, folks. Okay? And Jacob was the one that was blessed by Isaac. So what you're going to see here is some mental manipulation on Jacob's part. Watch, you're going to see it. It says, your servant Jacob, tell them, your servant Jacob says, I have been staying with Laban and have remained there until now. I have cattle and donkey, sheep and goats, male and female servants. Now I am sending a message to you, my Lord, again, lowercase lord, and look, Jacob is calling his brother Esau a lord, that I may find favor in your eyes. Why? He was the one that was blessed because he knows that he stole his brother's birthright. He conned him out of his inheritance, out of his blessings from his father, though. That whole story and everything between him and Rachel and covering yourself up and not knowing your son's voice and all that. These stories, once you start realizing it, folks, you could take 100 people out there with my dad and have them all talk, and then me hear my dad's voice, and I'm going to know my dad's voice, okay? I'm going to know my brother's voice over the phone, okay? I'm going to know somebody's voice that I've known all my life. You're not going to be able to hide that from somebody. A message to my Lord that I may find favor in your eyes and in his brother Esau's eyes. Okay? When the messenger returned to Jacob, they said, "We went to your brother Esau, and now he is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." In great fear and distress, Jacob divided the people that were with him into 2 groups, and the flocks and the herds as well. He thought that if Esau comes and attacks one group, the other group may escape. Then Jacob prayed, "O God of my father Abraham, God of my father Isaac, Lord, you that said to me, 'Go back to the country of your relatives, and I will make you prosper.' I am unworthy of all the kindness and faithfulness you have shown your servant. I had only my staff when I crossed this Jordan." And remember, man, he just went, and that's it. Nothing. He had nothing. All right? And what happened? See. So, what happened? Jacob is worried of his brother because he stole his blessing, and now he's coming back and he's sending word to his brother. Now he's praying to the Lord because of what he's done, and he's worried that he will come and attack me, and also that the mothers with their children. But you have said, "I will surely make your descendants prosper, and will make your descendants like the sands of the sea, which cannot be counted." Now, for me, folks, this is all, we have fallen from grace. Okay? I need you to understand something. When the Creator created Adam and Eve, he didn't create Adam and Eve for anything other than his children. They were his prize, okay? They were chosen, they were picked over the first race that he created. Everybody wants to think that everything that exists comes from Adam and Eve. That's crafty wordcraft from these people that have pulled the wool over your eyes, because clearly there was something created on the 6th day of creation that it speaks about in Revelations 13:18. Okay? Go look it up. 13:18. Okay. Okay, well, he groups him. In great fear and distress, Jacob divided his groups. Okay, then Jacob prayed, "Lord God, you have assured me that I will have children like the descendants that have been counted." All right? So Jacob, he spent the night there, and for what he had with him, he selected gifts for his brother Esau. 200 female goats and 20 male goats, and 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 female camels and their young, 40 cows and 10 bulls, and the 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. He put them in the care of his servants, each herd by itself, and said to his servants, "Go ahead of me and keep some space between you and the herds." He instructed the one in the lead, "When my brother Esau meets you and asks, 'Who do these belong to, and where are you going, and who owns all these animals in front of you?' Then you are to say, they belong to your servant Jacob. So Jacob has all these servants now. And again, Jacob is blessing his brother. Okay? Now, people want you to believe that Esau equals white. Okay? And Jacob equals black. And then this makes the world black and white. Okay? It's not about black and white. Okay? When you come up here in the spirit of the dead and you have the supreme creator, which is the spirit of the living, okay, and then you have the spirit of the dead, you have good and evil, living, life, death, dead, and evil. You don't see any, what color is any of this? Huh? What color is good and evil? Let me tell you, it's all colors. Everything. See, once you come to the conclusion and you understand that the Creator created evil first, and then he created another man, okay, a Hebrew man, and then he created a woman from the rib of this man, which is not the same as that man that was created on the sixth day of creation, because the man that was created on the sixth day of creation is created an image. Okay? An image is a phantom, folks. An image is nothing more than what you see on the television set. Okay? This is why the body must go back into the ground. Okay? Your image is a reflection of yourself in the meat suit that you're living in. That's your image. How you act is an image of your soul. How you present yourself in your flesh suit and how you live your life. Are you thieving? Are you looking at the neighbor? Are you screwing your neighbor's wife or husband? Do you have lust in your heart continually? Do you drive by schools because you like looking at the little girls? Are you banging on prostitutes? Is money what you serve more than anything else? Do you want the big house? Do you want the car? Do you serve the things of this world? Or are you looking for prosperity, spiritual prosperity? Okay? He put them in the care of the servants, each herd by itself, and said to his servants, go ahead of me and keep some space between the herds. He instructed the one in the lead, when my brother Esau meets you and asks who you are and who these belong to and where you are going and who owns all these animals in front of you, then you are to say, they belong to your servant Jacob. So Jacob has servants. They are gifts sent to my Lord. Again, my Lord. So Jacob is saying that Esau is his Lord. Okay, and is coming behind us. He also instructed the second and the third and all of the others who followed the herd. You are to say the same thing to Esau when he comes out to meet you. And be sure to say, your servant. So Jacob is calling himself a servant before Esau. Why is that? Folks, go ahead and put that down in there. If there's any brother Hebrews that have the answers to that. Jacob is coming behind us, for he thought I will pacify him with all the gifts I am sending on ahead. Later when I see him, maybe he will receive me. So Jacob's gifts went on ahead of him, but he himself spent the night in the camp. So here it is, the very word right here, pacify. Okay, so he's pacifying him. And what does pacify mean? It means to bend the truth. So something's scheming is what it means. If you're just saying something to pacify somebody, you're scheming on the backside. Because it means to bend, as in to bend a story, or tell a story, or use your wealth to manipulate somebody. to ease to anger. Oh, he's got to ease his brother's anger, I imagine. You know, when your brother wants to kill you one minute, if you're passing on all these gifts here and stuff, that would turn your anger into, wow, all right, cool, I'm glad to see you, brother. Give me some more, you know? Okay, he himself, so let's move on. Now we're moving into where Jacob wrestles with God. That night, Jacob got up and took his wives, his 2 female servants, his 11 sons, and crossed the ford of Jabbok. After he sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone. And a man, I'm going to get it all going on here, wrestled with him until break. Okay? Who's this man? When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." That's really peculiar to me. You know why? Because it's nighttime and vampires can't be out during the day. Vampires can't be out during the day. Who is Jacob wrestling with here? Is he wrestling with himself? Is he literally wrestling with a man? Or is he wrestling with the Spirit of God? Well, we can eliminate the Spirit of God. Nobody's wrestling with the Spirit of God. He's just going to think you out of existence or whatever it is he chooses to do. You're only an image, folks. You understand that when those creatures fell from grace, when Adam and Eve fell from grace, they were kicked out into an evil world, out of a garden, out of the presence of the Lord, out of this beautiful place. And then they were kicked out into this realm, taught by the tree of knowledge, right here, of good and evil. Me, I've been good, I've been evil, now today I walk straight. I walk aligned with the Creator. But Jacob replied, "I will not let go of you unless you bless me." Well, who is it he's asking for a blessing for? Where did this man come from? He just appeared out of nowhere. Something's missing here. The Bible says you're not to take anything out of the Bible and you're not supposed to add anything to it. But clearly this Bible has been shredded into pieces and all kinds of garbage added to it. The man asked him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. The man said, "You will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God." Boom. There's your connection right there. Okay? I just made your connection between God and man. This person that is wrestling with Jacob is a man, but they slid in God. Again, God is Elohim. Many gods. Look at the word man in many. This is a crafty language, folks. You got to catch what's going on. Okay? So, struggled with God and with humans. No. I would say no here. Okay? Jacob didn't struggle with humans because Jacob himself, if he is a servant of the Most High, then Jacob is a human. Human beings don't fight and wrestle and destroy one another. Humans don't. Gentiles do. You see, that man created on the sixth day of creation is trying to call himself a human. Okay? If you've seen any of my videos, I play a song called Sticks. And Sticks says that we are deep inside, we're all the same. And I'm trying to teach you that deep inside, we are not all the same. Deep inside, we are different people, and then we've been breeding Nephilim, and maybe out of every 100 to 2, 3, 4, 500, whatever the number is, we might get one spirited soul. Very few are being selected to turn back to the self-existing eternal creator, the spirit, which is one God. So Jacob is supposed to be a human because Jacob is from the bloodline of, his dad, Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob. What is that? It's also a trinity. You ever heard that before? I'm coming to understand that all religions have a trinity within their religion. It's all been scripted by mankind. By the Creator. You see, he uses mankind as temptation. Humans do not equal. Humans are minus mankind. Okay? Remember what I've said in many other lessons. Mankind, when you add the sum of mankind, it comes to 66. Mankind was created on the sixth day. Mankind is created in Genesis 1:25. God creates the beast of the earth. Okay? God creates the beasts of the earth, each according to their kind. Okay, that's Genesis 1:25. That is a hidden meaning. God creates mankind on the sixth day. Why is it mankind? Because mankind equals the United Nations. This parable is a hidden meaning right here. 1:25 of Genesis, God creates the beasts of the field, each according to their kind. That's the King James Bible. In this Bible here that I'm writing out for you, the NIV, it says that God created the wild animals, each according to their kind. It doesn't matter. They both mean the same thing. The beast of the field and the wild animals are the same thing. The wild animals are in the cities, okay? They are the wild animals. Those animals that are in the wild are not the same as the wild animals in the city. It's a big difference. Okay? This is how crafty it is. Everything is duality here. It's all duality. All right? So Jacob said to him, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "What? God?" But God replied, "Who is it though? Who is this mystery man?" This mystery man is a divinity. There are angels on this plane of existence that you can't see. They're here. They exist. All right? People try to mock someone like me that believes in angels. Okay? No, I understand that we're the fucking angels, man. So I'm not to be mocked about it. You're the angel. You're the beast. It's you. You're either good or evil. If you're serving anything other than the Spirit of God, you're a beast. It's that simple. Okay, if you're fornicating, you're lying, you're cheating, you're covering, you're beating down, throwing down, shutting down God's chosen people. You've went to other countries, you've murdered people, you rape, you committed pedophilia, all these things that take place. That's right. So mankind is created in Genesis. Also, this here in the Strong's Concordance. Strong's Concordance is 120 is the number. Okay? Also, there's the 119, and there's also 121. Okay? One of them is ruddy, and the other one is human. Go look them up, all of them. Strong's 119, Strong's 120, and Strong's 121. They all have different variations to each one. But what mankind in one of them, in this one, 120, it's saying that both mankind and man are equal. And I'm telling you, no, mankind was created on the sixth day. Mankind means both women and men, and it also means that they are kind of men, that they're not whole. They're empty. They're souls inside of flesh suits with no living spirit on them. If you have the Spirit of God on you, you're not out in the field partying and drinking and chasing after women. You're not raping people. You're not murdering people. If you are serving the Spirit, the self-existing eternal Creator, you're doing this. Once you understand that you're a creation and I have so much sin and iniquity on my back, I have to do this, I feel. It's part of my penitence, I feel, today, to remove some of these stains from my meat suit. Why do you ask my name? Well, he asks him, why do you ask my name? And then he blesses him. He doesn't even he doesn't even give him an answer, does it? You never find out the angel's name. Then he blessed him there. So this whole thing, Jacob asked this man that he wrestled with, this God, what his name is, and we never get the mystery God's name. Because clearly, that's what this God is. Because this God here, no one can see his face and live. You understand? There are people that you can't see their faces. Okay? You have to be within their clique, within their group, man. Because you can't identify them. You think Satan's going to have you in a spot where you're capable of identifying who the one of the top dogs is, one of the top angels? No, you get whacked real quick that way. If you saw one of them. Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, it was because I saw God. Oh, hold on. He saw God face to face, and my life was spared. Well, here's an extreme contradiction, because in Exodus 33, 19 through 21, Exodus 33, 19 through 21 says, there is a place that I know where I will put you in the cleft of a rock. And as my glory passes by, I will raise my hand. And after I've passed by, I will remove my hand so that you can see my back. For no one can see my face and live. Okay? Exodus 33, 19, 21 says, no one can see God's face and live. So somebody couldn't have seen God face to face here. That's how good I am, folks. Okay? You got to start questioning. So, whoever this God here is, this is a man. It's a man in a powerful position. It's a cardinal or a priest or a pope or somebody who has wealth. Somebody who just prints up money for free for them and says, here, I'll give you all this. And, creates this reality construct. and my life was spared. So we know because of Exodus 19:21, no one can see God's face and live. Okay? So something ain't right there. The sun rose above him when he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip, because the socket of Jacob's hip was touched by the tendon. Now, in the King James Bible, when it talks about Peniel, okay, it's talking about a river. The Peniel is a river. But look how it's spelt, folks. L. Pine. The pineal, as in the pineal gland. The pineal gland. Because Jacob is crossing a river. Okay? He's going over a river, the river that flows. Okay? It's a metaphor for the life blood. Or not the life blood, excuse me, but the life fluid. The anointing oil. The gift of life. So, it's referring here to the pineal gland when he says that I have seen God face to face and my life was spared. The sun rose above him when he passed Peniel. So you got the sun rising. More than likely what's going on here is Jacob is dreaming, man. Okay, that's what it's in baby, I'm in the middle of something. Give me a second, guys. Okay, now in the King James Bible, folks, when Jacob is dreaming like this, it also talks about him. Before all this in the King James Bible, he sets up 5 stones and he anoints the stones. Or that might come later in the next chapter. I might be getting ahead of myself. But the whole purpose of everything here is that God is a man that he's wrestling with here. Okay, so that's why it says Jacob wrestles with God. God here is Elohim. Okay? It's an image of God. So, bow your heads, let's go out. My Creator, this Spirit which moves all things in place, there is none like you. I beg you, with all my mind, heart, and soul, every cell and every fiber that comprises me of flesh and every ounce of blood that pumps through my veins, I humbly submit before you. I call on you and you alone, my Creator. Anybody who may be listening to this message all the way to the end, may you put your Spirit upon them. If there's anyone in question here right now today, Lord, about you being one God, let them find this channel today. Let them come back to you in the proper service and love of you, the Creator, the Spirit of God. Please, Lord, let the people identify that love on this plane of existence is an emotion, Lord. Love is a feeling. It's just like hate. Love and hate are emotions. And neither one have anything to do with the truth, Lord. So that's what I pray for today. I pray for the truth. And I pray for you to put the truth on others, so that their eyes may be opened and that they may see clearly. I love you, Lord, and I submit. You are the only one that moves all things in place. It is by your glory and almighty presence alone that does these things. Please guide me, watch over those that love you, Lord. Please make your return soon. I call on you for all these things, and I place nothing or anyone or man or spirit beside you. You are one only. I ask all these things only in your almighty presence, my Creator, a Spirit. This is White Raptor News Ministries. Shalom.